If you're not getting what you want in life, if you're not getting the result that you want, despite putting all the efforts, all the hours, finding the right strategy, hustling, getting the knowledge, doing all the right thing, and you're still not getting what you want, you feel like you're stuck, then pay attention, because this video will show you exactly why you're stuck, why things are not happening, materializing, why you're not creating what you want in your life. And this is the reason most people operate with the wrong blueprint. And this is the blueprint that most people use. You know, if I want to get something, or if I want to get rid of something, or if I want to solve a certain problem, or if I want to get unstuck in my business, then the main thing that most people do first is like, well, okay, I need to do, what do I need to do, right? What do I need to act? What is the strategy? What do I need to do in order to get the result that I want, right? Or what do I need to stop doing, or the habit or the pattern that I need to change? So the first thing that we look at in order to get what we want is the behavior, is the habit, is the doing part of it, which makes sense, right? Because we all know logically, we've all been taught that, you know, what you do achieve, you know, the result that you have in your life. But the next thing that people do, and you see that a lot, especially on social media, especially on YouTube and so on, is to learn, is to get the knowledge, is to get the information, is to get whatever they need, the skills, the strategy, the understanding, the insight, the technique, the tool, the knowledge, that will allow them to do what needs to be done, that will allow them to get the result, right? So if they don't know what to do or how to do it, or if they've been doing certain things and it's not creating the result, then people go to the next step, which is getting the skills, the knowledge. And this can come from courses, it can come from videos, it can come from online, it can come from AI, it can come from master degrees, it can come from so many sources. And a lot of people get stuck here. Why? Because when I get that result, that insight, that information, I get a sense of progress. I get a sense of like I'm doing something, right? Which keeps people stuck at that level, because getting information is actually very safe. And often applying that information requires them to get out of the comfort zone or to do things they haven't done before, which can create resistance. And that resistance comes from what people call the mindset, right? And so this is the next level they look at. So, okay, so if I'm doing the right thing, if I got the strategy and I'm still not getting what I want, it must be because my mindset is not at the right place, right? Because they said that mindset is 80% and behavior is 20%. So they go and they do all the inner work. They read all the self-help books, they go on YouTube, they watch videos like this. They're trying to really shift the mindset, the belief, the energy, the frequency, whatever it takes. Find the manifestation tool, find the visualization tool, do the gratitude exercise. They're trying to change the inner world so that they can finally apply the skills, the knowledge, the behavior, finally create some form of like alignment or something that will create the result, the achievement, the manifestation of what they want. And yet so many people are still stuck. So many people are watching hundreds of videos like this, are binging videos like this, they know everything they need to do, they work harder, they do more, they try different things, and they're still stuck. They're still getting in the same result, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationship, whether it's in health and fitness and weight loss and all these things. How many people have tried to lose weight, going on endless diets, learning all the things about calorie counting and all that crap and keto and blah, blah, blah. And they even work on their mindset and body image. I love you, looking in the mirror and all that stuff. And they get the result. And then a few weeks later, they're back exactly where they started. It's the same with relationship. People go relationship after relationship after relationship. At the beginning, everything is great. It's the one, blah, blah, blah. There is that honeymoon period, and then the same old patterns happens again. It's the same in business. It's the same in the money sitting. It's the same in everything. So why is it that people are struggling to really break through here despite spending so much time on understanding the blueprint here? Is because there's one important thing missing. The root cause, the most important element is missing, and that element is the hidden layer that in this channel I call the identity or the self-image. And that is the root of what you create, of what you do, of the skills and knowledge that you apply, and the mindset that you operate from. It all comes from your sense of identity, how you know yourself to be. Because think about this, life doesn't give you what you want. Life is a reflection of who you are, right? And so if you've ever been to the mindset level, you already understand that, the personal development, the personal journey, if you're watching this, is because you know that there's something in you that massively contribute to not only what you do, but what you get, and also what you apply. Because if knowledge and skills was enough, then people with PhD or master degree, or the very smart people with high IQ, right? They will be on top. They will be the richest. They will be the most. But it's not the case. There's people who have never been, to university and so on, who are making more money, who are happier, who are, getting so much result. So knowledge here is important, but applied knowledge, embodying that knowledge, come from being the person who naturally gets that result. So if you are trying to lose weight or become sexier or changing your body, right? But you still relate to yourself as the old overweight person, it's only a matter of time before you go back to the same old result. And you have to understand that the deeper you go into here, the more subconscious it becomes. What does that mean? It means that at the identity level, you are less aware of your identity, of your core belief, of the core emotion, of the core patterns that are driving pretty much everything that you do. And because it's easy to look around you in your life and to be like, okay, how much money do I have? What am I actually getting? What am I not getting? What are the problems that I have, right? So we are consciously aware of those two layers. But the deeper we go, the more we deal in the realm of the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is 90% of what you do every single day, stem from your identity, stem from those patterns, from those programs that you have at the subconscious level that has been created from the moment you were born, imprint in you. So if you want to be wealthy and successful and so on, but you have associated success with some negative element or unworthiness or any form of concept like this, if you see yourself as unworthy of being rich and wealthy and successful, or that is dangerous or unsafe on some level, you'll never get there. You will sabotage every step of the way. If you want to have a beautiful, loving relationship and a beautiful partner and be able to express and show love and all of these things, but if you grew up in an environment where love is unsafe, where everybody around you when you were growing up and so on had poor relationship or distrust or cheating or argument or all this pain and so on was normal, then the model of reality that you created around love is exactly what you most likely experiencing here. Or you've been treated poorly, you had poor breakups, you had things that happened that shaped your relationship to love, experience, other people, and that directly affect not only what you do, how you behave and so on, but your energy, your attitude and so on. And ultimately you get the same old pattern. And I can give you so many examples like this. In business, I was working with a client who was working at the UN, right? And he was the typical nice guy, the overpush, true kind, never asking for anything, like, avoiding confrontation, all that stuff. And he was desperate to get that promotion. He was working harder, he was working on weekends, he was taking work from other people, he was taking work and shit from his boss and so on, and he never asked for anything. And year after year, he got passed off that promotion. So he was very angry, very resentful and so on inside, but he was always too afraid to step up, to ask, to show up, to claim what was his. But you see, that wasn't the problem. The people were not the problem. Is that life was simply echoing his relationship with himself. At the subconscious level, he wasn't worthy, right? The root of that nice guy personality, that unworthiness, is that I am not enough. And life was simply echoing that again. It was never enough, never enough. So when we started working at the core level, who he was, and the shame core and the unworthiness core and those core beliefs that was created when he was very young, and we started to change that, and he started to embody a different identity, and then he started showing up in that way. Things started to change. Not only he got his promotion and a salary bump, but a couple months after that he left because a better opportunity showed up. So all of that took a process of time, a process of understanding subconsciously what is happening, understanding those repressed emotions, those core beliefs, those core patterns, those core relationships that shaped him as he was, and how that identity was literally subconsciously influencing all the behaviors, the decisions, and so on. And why doing the courses, the knowledge, reading the book, doing the mindset work was not enough for him to ever get to the point where he wanted. So it was for him to let go of the unworthiness, to let go of the wrong ideas, to go back to his core self, fully self-expressed, more authentic, to be like, okay, who would I need to be if I was truly confident in my core, if I actually believed that I deserve this and I deserve it now? So you see that kind of energy becomes congruent with the reality he was creating. So right now, the biggest invitation I can give you is awareness, is to stop focusing so much on the results, stop focusing so much on the behavior, stop focusing so much on the knowledge, the skills, and the mindset work and so on, which is important. All those parts are important, right? Sometimes the identity is not enough because you also need to learn what you need to do and the right strategy. So everything in this blueprint serves a purpose, right? Doing the right action, showing up, facing the fear, all of that serves a purpose, but it will not work, it will not stick if you are not acting from a place of congruence, if you are not letting go of the imposter syndrome, of the fear of being seen, or the fear of what people are gonna say, of all those things that are holding you back now, that are making you shrink, that are making you anxious, that are making you all these things. So you gotta go deep in the subconscious mind and start looking, who am I? How do I really think about myself? How do I really feel about myself? What are the thoughts that I have about my desired reality? And often, if you simply look at what you desperately want in your life and how that makes you feel, it will not only show you why you want what you want, which is the feeling you're trying to get, the quality, the essence. For me, for example, when I was desperate to get money and clients and success, is because I was desperate to feel worthy. And when I understood that at the subconscious level, my identity is that I'm not good enough. And so I overcompensate because I project on my goals. So when I get the money, when I get the success, when I get the company, when I get this, I will be good enough. But that's not how it works, you see? When you get a relationship, or when you get a promotion, or when you get whatever, then it will change something here, deep feeling in your core, that void that's been, empty for so long. And that's your first clue that you're projecting the core quality that you're trying to get externally, that you haven't mastered internally in your identity. So what does that mean? It means you need to become that person now. And a couple of clear signs that you can look, that I can see in all my clients, is that if you feel like an imposter, if you feel like a fraud, if you feel like you're afraid of being embarrassed or telling you wrong, or telling like any form of being seen in a certain way, especially in the area of what you want, then it shows that the identity here is strongly resisting and not aligned with the life that you want. Your reality here is about being safe, in a form of safety, in a form of cocoon, in a form of like, okay, this is what I know and this is what is safe and so on. And whatever here I want, whatever that expansion represents, feels unsafe. So by looking at where you are and what you're getting, you can already not only see at what is creating those results, but also at what do I desperately try to gain and feel by creating that life now. And so when you can reverse engineer that and start from here with the thought, with the energy, with the letting go, because this here requires a lot of letting go of emotional scar, core belief, trauma with parents, or this type of thing that actually shaped who you are for so long, because a lot of people have been here operating and evolving that identity and those core identification for decades. So there's a lot of momentum, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of habitual pattern. So it's not just you click your fingers, you change some information, you write down certain things, and boom, everything magically gets sorted. But when you deep dive at this level and you do the work and you do the deep inner work, you start to see then how everything becomes much more congruent, much more easy, much more magnetic. And that is the case whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to be healthier, whether you try to make more money, more successful, get a new job, trying to get a relationship that you want. It doesn't matter what the goal is. You are in a relationship with everything that you create. And if here at the identity level you feel like you're not worthy, or you're not that person, or it's not you, then that's where you need to start. Because life only gives you who you are. If you need help, if you're stuck, if you tried everything and you're still not getting what you want, you can book a one-on-one session with me down in the comment. Together, we can go deeply at the subconscious level and have a look. What is happening? Who are you? What is happening that is creating or keeping you away from creating the life that you deserve? The link is down in the description. Let me know what you think down in the comment as always. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I'll see you next time.